Welcome back to another Craft's Treasure. I'm Dear Darling, and from the unexplored depths we will prove if we are truly trash or treasure, where we are basically just going on a museum tour now of another Craft's Treasure. We're just gonna be looking around and seeing all the enemies we fought. Seeing their names, I think, is a cool thing, and then seeing the descriptions. Now, notably, we are missing one right here, which is the angry snail, which is an impossible thing for us to get because you can only fight him at the very beginning of a game and you get no chance to rematch him, and it's, you know, because this the museum was unlocked way after we had actually defeated him, we cannot do anything about it. Anyway, I think it's actually a good time to actually look at these designs properly, because I say this game does have a very masterful use of the way it uses trash to actually sort of create its enemies. Like, this is some sort of bleached lobster with a bin bag on its head, bike chains around its neck, giving it a very executioner sort of mask vibe. Its guillotine is a bike lock with a razor blade and just a piece of string attached to it. A reel, even. I didn't, you never notice these things before. Royal shell splitter. Homerus gammerus. I can't believe they made up Latin names for all of these. A large lobster practiced in the ways of efficiently ending the life of disobedient crabs. Lobsters never stop growing throughout their lifetime, and there's no known limit on how old they can live. Eventually, however, those that grow old enough often stop speaking. Okay, weird. Way to put that. So these are all like early game bosses, it looks like, apart from those ones. This is one of the first bosses we fought. Torn bin bag. A ramune bottle, is that what that is? Oh no. Krabine. Okay, I see. It's ramune, but krabine. Jo Hiri? I don't think that's what that means. I don't think that's what aggro crab means either, but krabine is a pun on ramune. Ramune being a soda drink from Japan, and obviously it being a portmanteau on crab and ramune, if that was not obvious enough. I don't know what this part means. Excuse me? Let me type in Japanese, please. What? Hey. Okay, it's not transliterating, so I guess I'll manually write it out. Dama, marbles. Oh, it is Tama as in ball. Okay, I thought for some reason it was Prince. With marbles. Bidamairi. So it's saying it's got a marble in, which is kind of what ramune is known for. It's being like a soda drink and it's got a little marble in it which you have to sort of pop to actually begin drinking it. Anyway, what are you called? What have you got tied around you? A shoelace? Or just some sort of thick rope? Okay. Cute bobo. Polluted Platoon Pathfinder. Cancer Borealis. The leader of a doomed Slack-Tide expedition to the Moon Caves. Sent to recover shiny objects on behalf of a Duchess, the polluted platoon wound up discovering a different sort of treasure entirely. The knowledge of her existence and their powerlessness to approach her would end up driving them to madness. Interesting. And these other sort of crabs, the basic ones with the bottle caps on the head, the fish with the fishing hooks. Ragoon Wayfarer. Hemigrapsus nudus, a common ocean resident. I bet there's a lot of jokes in these scientific names, which I don't get because I don't know anything about Latin. Common ocean resident, native to the coastline, many of these wandering crabs without communities were among the first to have their mind polluted. The Goombas of his game. Trashimi, Sardinia pilcardus. Commonly known as sardine, and these small fish are often domesticated as guards, farm animals, or obedient pets. Do not be fooled by their small stature. A sharp reef of garbage on their head can make them fearsome in a group. And then we have the royal guard himself, Nephilim? Something like that. Nephro, captain of a guard, Homarus Gammarus. The life of a small-town sheriff has never satisfied Nephro. He harbored a desire to wield his true might against the enemies of the law. to swing his blade down against those that refused his authority, to kill in the name of the ocean's self-made gods. Like many before him, he found his calling as a spear of a tyrant. So he's got, like, a fast food drink as a lance, which I always thought was a very cool detail. It's got a gatekeeper badge. I'm not sure what that's made out of. Is it all fast food themed? Because, like, the blanket part is meant to be like, I assume, a fast food, like, napkin. I can't tell what that's on the shoulder. I don't know if we can jump up there. But the flag is a straw and a ketchup sachet, obviously. It would be nice to be able to get up to get a closer look. I can see... Is that a zip tie? What is on your shoulder? Because maybe the badge is like one of those ketchup holders. There's some sort of tassel thing, which I can't tell what it is. And it looks like the things on the shoulder are just bottle caps, maybe? Chain paper clips to give it a sort of knightly feel. Okay, I can get down with that. I do like how the lobster's face, though. It has the sort of like knight, royal knight helmet design. Again, I think this game does a very good job in how it designs its enemies and incorporates the trash mechanics. Slack-tide cavalryman. Homarus Americanus. Okay. The law is only as strong as the chitin of its stewards. If the law is to be unbreakable, the lobster knights of a Magister's army must train to become so as well. But it turns out both are still pretty breakable. So these little army men down here, they have a soda can tab. And what are they called? An earbud. Not earbud. Cotton bud. As their own little lances. Bottle caps. Bottle caps are very prevalent, I think, throughout all of this. So this is the same as Nephro stuff, just on a smaller scale. I never really thought about the fact that the lobster's helmet-like design is who they are. It's built into them. You don't have tassels, though, I suppose, to accentuate your lower stature. Slack-tide footman. Hermograpsus nudus. A shore crab trained to serve as part of the Duchess' standing army, seizing territory and recovering riches on her behalf. All that separates a ragtag group of commoners from a lethal fighting force is a blade to wield and a despot to die for. It's got a different type of lid. Okay, you know, these ones I think are rather straightforward in their design, so there's not much to sort of glean from that. Ragoon beach coma, quite literally, Cancer productus. A lonesome crab whose enthusiasm for digging up beachside treasures has been twisted by the gunk into a violent obsession. It is not uncommon to see them as mercenaries for the various ocean lords, who easily tempt them into servitude with a promise of riches. Because they're literally combing a beach, I suppose, are reaches. Riches? Reachy. I'm not sure why I have a banana on my head, though. That doesn't feel like it fits the aesthetic to me, but what do I know? This one doesn't even have sign, this is just more training of them doing star jumps. And then we have the Duchess herself, who I think the design goes pretty hard with her just vomiting up gunk into her ruffle. Okay, so Magister, tyrant of the Slack-tide. Metacarcinius Magister. In a distant land, a mighty house of crabs was razed to the ground, leaving only the eldest daughter alive. From what remained of her bannerman, she would raise her own army, with a dream of creating a gorgeous glimmering city that would last for all time. But for all her hunger for wealth, time was hungrier still. These are all very tragic sort of museum things. Also, who's writing these? So let's see. Well, we had a look at her design a little bit when we actually played, but like her throne is an accessories box. She's wearing a tiara, a plastic tiara. I don't know what her ruffles are, but I think they look like folded up serviette napkins. And then she's got doilies on her shoulders to act as like royal cuffs. Obviously, she's got a very sort of West European nobility in design, and she has a tea strainer as her weapon. I guess she's meant to be mostly evocative of like French nobles back in whatever century. I don't know my history. So I'm trying to see how her eyelashes work, or if there's anything else notable about her design. I think it's mostly about clovers, to be honest. It's fascinating though, isn't it? As we go deeper still into this must be the Great Expanse, whatever it's called. So many of these poor crabs just being used as a target practice for these. Ragoon impaler, Hemigraspus oregonensis, an ex-fisherman of the Enchanted Grove who has turned their spear on their fellow crab. No longer confined to the grove itself, the snap bandits have begun leaving a bloody wake throughout the open ocean. See, this one makes sense to me, because it's like, it's using needle and thread, and it's got a thimble as a helmet. The beachcomber should have like a, I don't know, hairspray can or something as a helmet, I feel like, to fit with a vibe, but I guess they wanted to just introduce a banana. So yeah, just needle and thread. I don't know what type of knot they've got there on the needle. Perhaps if you're actual seamstress, you can ask. You can tell. Answer. What's this one? A hermit crab. Wayward hermit. Pagarus bernardus. Hermits are once proud beings of incredible power, but have shown a particular vulnerability to the gunk. To see us reduced to prattling highwaymen. Oh, so this must be Conch writing these. Hiding in wait just to snap up the purse strings of travellers. It makes one want to curse this very ocean. Yeah, because hermit crabs are basically sages of the old ocean or whatever, but have since fallen because they are very susceptible to the corrupting nature of the gunk. Seahorse sentinel, Hippocampus cuda. Once a part of the unofficial peacekeeping force that protected the routes between open ocean settlements, and these skunk seahorses are now just as likely to take your life as any other bandits they've pledged to fend off. Seahorses are noteworthy for the males being the ones to carry their young, a rarity in the animal kingdom. Not a trade I'd rush to make it, I say. I'm not going to do all of these in Conch's voice, even though now I know they're Conch. But they have those inflatable dino pill things, which are very sort of nostalgia coded. I think. For me, well, you know, I didn't even have them in the pill form. I did have these like just in normal foam form, though. But just like, if you don't know, they're pills that you just put in the water, and then as it absorbs the water, it like expands outwards into these dinosaur shapes, which is a very, very cool sort of like artillery usage. And they're using a Tic Tac box. They actually go into the Hulk to actually suck out a pill. It's very cool. Tiny threads to keep it together, because they very much do look like cavaliers, I suppose, with a sort of like saddle, like reins on them. Ketchup helmet. Don't know. Maybe it's meant to be like a Prussian helmet spike. And a bit of tape to stick the Tic Tacs to them. Now these are called like surprises or something, aren't they? Celebrant, that's it. Spheroids dorsalil. Having one of these inflating fish in attendance is said to bring good luck on important ceremonies. Many make an entire career out of travelling the ocean to watch over weddings, military parades, or claw mitzvahs. Okay. So they're literally just a party bag and a party hat. Very thematic, I will say. There's not much else to say about them, though. This is probably the first good look we have at these ones. Bobbit worm. Eunice aphroditois. There are horrors in the ocean that most New Carcinians will never know. In the open ocean, a single misplaced step can be the end of everything. Carcinized society is a lie we tell ourselves over and over to gradually forget that we are prey. This worm is really scary. Excuse me, game? Is it? I can't believe it. It would be legit. I can't believe they did that to me. I can't believe I fell for it. Does that mean all three of them are? No? Okay. Dunno. I just wanted to get a closer look at it. It's basically just a giant centipede, to be honest. Underwater. No, not Pagarus. We'll read the other one first. Dia trashimi. Sardinops sagax. Sagax? A sardine that's grown to prodigious size, no longer fit for domestication. After breeding, they tend to form large groups and can devour entire herds of livestock. This is why you always neuter your pets, I say. I don't think there's anything crazy going on with the diatrashimis, but this is actually displaying in Pagarus the fact that he can capture them and eat them. Pagarus ravenous. Pseudocarcinius gigas. Sometimes crabs grow way too big. What society could sustain such a voracious appetite? Or is this creature always destined to become a monster, to spend its days wandering the sands between devouring all it comes across? Or was it our cruelty that drove it out to the fringes in the first place? I don't have the answer, but do try not to become its next snack. So it's got wooden cutlery, binded to itself somehow through these blue cables. I don't know what it's got over its eye. I think that might be a fishing tackle. Or like a thing which is like with the little tags attached to a fishing bait. You're very sort of lichen and infested, I would say. And then you have a tiny soda cup in your head. Not a soda cup, but those 90s cup. I wonder what the aesthetic is here. Pirate? Like a scavenger pirate, I guess? Like, why necessarily have... That's horrifying. What the heck? We can see your tongue. You have a bobbit worm in you. Why have an eye patch, I suppose? Essentially. There's not many things. I mean, maybe it's just meant to make you look like a war-hardened... Not war-hardened, but... Things have been through a lot of trials and tribulations, to be honest. But there's a lot of thought that goes into the design, so there must be some sort of aesthetic that I'm missing. 16 minutes, my word. We actually took a way longer than this on this than I thought. So I guess we'll just do one chapter each episode, essentially, if they're all that long. I don't know what the next one would be. But it's only like, what, 6? So it's not too many. I think that's good. We'll continue next time. Because I think it'll be... It's just not enough time, I think, to continue and find out what the next ones will be. So, for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been another Crab's Treasure, and I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Social Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye-bye for now.